Morning everybody, it's Becca here. Welcome to today's church online. So good to be together. We as a church are thinking about three things. First of all, how are we going to pray? We want to pray twice a day, every day. And we're also thinking about how we're going to help each other, how we're going to help our community and others beyond our community, and also how we're going to connect. We want to connect in every way that we can and cheer each other on in this time. Today we're going to be looking at storms and how we get through the storms. We're going to be having some music that you can sing and worship along to. We've got something especially for the children, and we've got a short talk as well. But I'm going to start today by reading from Psalm 46 because it's such an amazing passage. It says this: God is a safe place to hide, ready to help when we need him. We stand fearless at the cliff edge of doom, courageous in sea storm and earthquake. Before the rush and roar of oceans, the tremors that shift mountains, Jacob wrestling, God fights for us. God of angel armies fights for us. Step out of the traffic. Take a long, loving look at me. Your high God, above politics, above everything. That's what we want to do today. We want to take a good look at our loving God who is high above everything.
I'm just going to read from Philippians 4. Don't worry or fret. Instead of worrying, pray. Let petitions and praises shape your worries into prayers, letting God know your concerns. Before you know it, a sense of God's wholeness, everything coming together for good, will come and settle you down. It's wonderful what happens when Christ displaces worry at the centre of your life. Summing it all up, friends, I'd say you'll do best by filling your mind and meditating on things noble, reputable, authentic, compelling and gracious. The best, not the worst. The beautiful, not the ugly. Things to praise, not things to curse. Put into practice what you have learned from me, what you have heard and saw and realised. Do that, and God, who makes everything work together, will work you into his most excellent harmonies.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to take some time to worship and sing together. Here we go. I'll raise a hallelujah in the presence of my enemies. I'll raise a hallelujah louder than the unbelief. I'll raise a hallelujah. My weapon is a melody. I'll raise a hallelujah. Heaven comes to fight for me. I'm gonna sing in the middle of the storm. Louder and louder, you're gonna hear my praises roar. Up from the ashes, hope will arise. Death is defeated, sing a little louder.
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 We're gonna sing a little louder.
Sing a little louder.
Come on and sing a little louder.
In the presence of my enemy.
Sing a little louder.
Oh, louder than the unbelief.
Sing a little louder.
My weapon is a melody.
Sing a little louder.
Heaven comes to fight for me.
We're gonna sing a little louder.
In the presence of my enemies.
Sing a little louder.
Louder than the unbelief.
Sing a little louder.
My weapon is a melody.
Sing a little louder.
Heaven comes to fight for me.
Sing a little louder.
I'm gonna sing in the middle of the storm. Louder and louder.
You're gonna hear my praises roar up from the ashes. Hope will arise. 'Cause death is defeated. The King is alive. Yeah, I'm gonna sing in the middle of the storm. Louder and louder. You're gonna hear my praises roar up from the ashes. Hope will arise. Death is defeated. The King is alive. I raise a hallelujah. I raise a hallelujah. We raise a hallelujah. We raise a hallelujah.
Hey Arunchurch, Digital Church, also we like to call it ACDC. This week we're going to be doing the storm. It's the story of when Jesus was asleep on the boat and there was a big storm. Our craft should look like this. You can use anything at home, but I will be using scissors, a glue stick, pen, coloured cards, and any stick from home. Could be one from out the garden, could be one that you own, or even you could ask your parents to get a lolly. Let's begin. First of all, you get your pen and a plain piece of paper, and you want to draw some waves. You'll notice I'm using white card because I can't find any colour card in my house, so I will paint it eventually. They can look anything that you want them to look, but I have done that. Then you want to cut out this part. Once you've done this, you want to do the same kind of waves but on another bigger piece of card. Now you notice I'm using a mat because I'm going to paint these waves, so I'm using a mat so it won't get onto the counter. So I'm going to do it in a light blue. I'm going to do the same thing but in a darker colour for this other sheet that you should have. This is my finished result. Now this has finished drying, I have done an outline and done some clouds with some grey. You can make it however you want as long as it looks stormy, like in the Bible. So, I'm just gonna do some extra lightning. And this is my finished result. Now get the sheet that you did before and only glue it on these two sides. And you want to stick these two sides on the sheet that you did before. It should look like this. Now we're going to make a shape. So you can get some coloured card, or you can get some white card again and colour it. I've got some cards of some orange. It can be any colour you want. Now you can cut the ship out and it can look however you want. And this is the finished result. So now we want to glue this on the stick, then flip it around. Now all you have to do is get your ship and slide it under. So then, there it is. When the disciples were on the ship, they were very anxious. And Jesus said to them, "It's okay," and he calmed the storm. So that's the main point. When we're in a storm, Jesus can calm it down for us. I hope you enjoyed doing this craft, and I would love to see what you guys made. Stay safe, have fun, so create out.
Hi everyone, Watson's here, desperately in need of a haircut.
Yeah, we're really missing you all and look forward to being together again soon.
Here's what we've been getting up to as a family.
Have a lovely Sunday, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, we're the Brocklebanks. I'm Gareth.
And I'm Lauren.
And bear with us. Haha, literally bear with us. This is Bear, and he's 3.5 weeks old. And we love being a part of the Qarunchurch community, and we wanted to say a massive thank you, didn't we?
Yeah, we're just so blown away by all the love and support that we've received over the last few weeks, which have been very challenging, but we've just had so many people praying for us and reaching out to us, getting us shopping and doing meals for us, getting vouchers, prezzies. We've just been blown away by love and support from everyone. It's just church in action, so thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. God bless you guys. Have a great day.
Good morning everybody, this is Steve and Pat checking in from our daily exercise, but don't panic, there's no Leica involved.
And our essential food collection. Is rhubarb essential? I'm not sure. Anyway, we need to go and do some work, and then it'll be time for tea break.
It's a good job we've got a Joel in house that can make sense of all of this video stuff for us. Anyway.
Time for tea now. We are missing you. It's a shame you're not here at the allotment with us, actually.
Yes, we'd certainly make use of you doing all this weeding for us. Anyway, bye for now.
Bye!
Hey everyone, I'm Bex, this is River Grace.
And I'm Ali, and we're checking in with you all. We hope you're all well. We're really enjoying lockdown. Well, I'm really enjoying lockdown, spending time with my family, doing a bit of gardening, a bit of painting, so all good here.
And you're loving learning your new skills, aren't you? Rolling around and making all those squeaky noises. And our daily walks to the beach are really precious, and we're loving seeing lots of your lovely faces. So we do miss you.
Yeah, we do miss you.
And we can't wait to all be back together again soon.
Yeah, look forward to seeing you all soon. Bye!
So I'm joined by Amy today. Amy, tell us just a little bit about who you are and what you're doing at the moment.
My name's Amy, obviously, and I am a hairstylist. Currently, obviously, not able to work, but a little bit about myself. I love to socialise and travel, see family and friends, etc.
Amazing, that's great. So 6 months ago, were you a regular churchgoer?
No, I wouldn't say I was a regular churchgoer. I would attend church, had a friend at church, and I would go and I would enjoy it, but I wouldn't really perhaps understand why I enjoyed it or what it was that made me feel good, that kind of thing. I was just kind of going and not necessarily absorbing to the full, I don't think. So
Great.
yeah.
And you did our last Alpha course at the Whitbourne Centre a few months ago. Just tell us a little bit about how you found that and what it was like.
Yes, I mean, it normally starts with a video, which is really, really interesting. Always kind of provokes lots of questions in our groups that we then go into, slightly smaller groups that is, and it's a really quite comfortable, intimate environment for people to open up in perhaps ways that they wouldn't feel like they would normally be able to, or be even in that situation. So yeah, it was great to be able to be in that situation where you could ask different questions and people have different answers and share their journeys with you, and yeah, it gave me a lot of food for thought when I left, basically.
Amazing. So for anyone who's never been to church before, or perhaps they're thinking about whether they could be doing Alpha, would you recommend it to them?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Alpha, there is nothing to lose by going. You are open to meeting new people and strengthening your faith, and yeah, it's just great. There's nothing to lose, and you're only going to kind of gain from your experience in your faith, socially, etc.
Amazing. And are you going to be joining us on Alpha Online in a few weeks?
Yeah, definitely. I think I met quite a few people that had done it multiple times. I think it's important to kind of keep going over things and revisiting things as well. Definitely, I'll be joining.
Amazing. Look forward to seeing you there.
Hello everyone, it's Becca here, and I've been thinking a lot about storms and about the story that Jesus tells about the storm on the lake, and it's in Luke 8, so I'm going to read it. It says this: One day he, that's Jesus, and his disciples got in a boat. "Let's cross the lake," he said, and off they went. It was smooth sailing, and he fell asleep. A terrific storm came up suddenly on the lake, and water poured in, and they were about to capsize. They woke Jesus. "Master, Master, we're going to drown." Getting to his feet, he told the wind, "Silence," and the waves, "Quiet down." They did it. The lake became smooth as glass. Then he said to his disciples, "Why can't you trust me?" In some versions it says, "Why don't you have any faith?" They were in absolute awe, staggered and stammering. "Who is this anyway? He calls out to the winds and the sea, and they do what he tells them." So we have this story of a storm, and sometimes it feels like we're in a storm right now. And the storm that they were in was terrifying. I mean, they were about to capsize. Storms by their very nature are unpredictable and crazy and wild, and you don't know what's going to happen. And they're frightening and they're scary, unless, of course, you're snuggled up inside your little house. But if you're on the boat, then that's really scary. And there are several things that I notice about this story. The first one is that Jesus said, we are going to the other side. Get in the boat, we're going to go to the other side. You know, there was a destination. He promised them he was going to take them somewhere. He was going to take them to the other side. No matter what happened in the middle of the lake, no matter what happened during that storm, he was taking them somewhere. They weren't going to stay in the storm for the rest of their lives. And so I want to remind us today, whatever we're feeling, whether we feel like there's a storm going on around us or whether we feel as though the storm is going on inside us, whatever we feel, we're not going to stay in that place forever. Jesus is taking us to the other side, somewhere else. The second thing is it came really suddenly, the storm. And this has come very suddenly, hasn't it? The whole virus thing has happened suddenly. And the suddenly feels sometimes difficult to cope with. But it was never a shock for Jesus. He completely knew what was going on. And he was asleep in the boat, fast asleep in that boat. He wasn't worried, he wasn't frightened, he wasn't bothered. He knew who was the king, he knew who was the Lord in that storm. Sometimes I look for trust, especially in these times, in places like, I look to the news. It's interesting that Jesus said, who do you trust? Why don't you trust me? And sometimes I look for trust maybe when I put on the telly and I think, oh, maybe somebody's going to tell me something hopeful today or something good today, and maybe what are the scientists saying, or what does the data say today? And where am I putting my trust? Where am I putting my hope? Because I want to be putting my trust and my hope in Jesus. He says, where's your faith? Where's your trust? And I think that's a question for us today. Where is our faith? Where is our trust? You know, trust isn't something that is just like, well, I trust in Jesus, so therefore everything's going to turn out okay. In my experience, trust doesn't mean that things always happen in the way that you want them to happen. Trust doesn't mean that we don't get sick. Trust doesn't mean that we don't get ill. Trust doesn't mean that people around us don't die. And that's not what trusting God is. Trusting God is saying, you know, whatever happens, I'm putting my faith and my hope in you, Jesus, whatever happens. And I think that trust goes deeper than just thinking, this will work out if I trust in you. Sometimes things don't work out how we would love them to work out, but we can still have a trust. Our anchor, our trust is still in Jesus. And so I would encourage us that our faith is in God at this time. And whatever the storm you may feel, whatever the fear that you may feel, whatever the uncertainty you may feel, maybe you feel that things are totally out of control for you, whatever you may feel, remember that Jesus is in the boat. Jesus is with you, and he is the best person to ever have in the boat with you. So I pray that you know today a sense of calm, that you know that Jesus says, still the storm, your thoughts, your feelings, the circumstances around you, may they be stilled, and may you know that he is God. Thank you so much for being with us today. I pray that you would know stillness in the storms that you are in. I pray that you would be still and know that he is God, and that would give you hope and peace today. I pray that you know that you are so, so loved, and we are in this together. And so we're going to keep praying after this. There's going to be some prayer on YouTube. If you want to go to the link below and click onto that. or else go to our YouTube channel. You can pray with us then. Take care, everybody. Loads of love to you.
When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrow like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, Thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. Though Satan should buffet, though trials come my way, let this blessed assurance control, that Christ has regarded my helpless estate and hath shed his own blood for my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well. My sin, oh the bliss of this glorious thought. My sin, not in part, but the whole, is nailed to the cross, and I bear it no more. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord, oh my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul, and it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul.
The vision of the church has not changed. We passionately want to see the good news of Jesus change lives, communities, and the world.
We've always been about changing the community by getting involved.
In the 1990s, we opened our first play centre in Rustington and started children's play schemes that now attract over 450 people each summer. We have seen over 90 families supported through the CAP Debt Centre and connect with 300 teenagers each week through Arun youth projects.
The Whitbourne Centre, Refresh Cafe and Play Centre Nursery opened in 2005, and they serve over 10,000 people every year who come for leisure, advice and support.
So the things I've observed through my work with Refresh is we see a lot of people come through the doors and who see the Whitbourne almost as like a second home, but I think a lot of the mums in particular and children feel very comfortable coming to the Whitbourne Centre. It's a very home from home environment for them.
From seeing people that have come into the Whitbourne Centre, it's good to see that there is a venue like the coffee shop area where they can just come in and just have a relax and have a cup of tea and a coffee before doing various events, mothers and toddlers, and all that sort of thing that goes on in the Whitbourne Centre.
Duncan was born about a year and a half ago, and when he was born I was diagnosed with postpartum depression. So I had to go to Chichester to meet with the perinatal mental health team. So they asked me where would a safe place to meet be, and the first place I thought of was the Whitbourne Centre. It was different. I'd been to other family centres to see midwives and they were all very closed in and very claustrophobic. And I walked in here and it was just open and bright, even though it was lashing it down with rain. It was just open and welcoming.
I really enjoy being at the Whitbourne Centre. I was here just the other day for my own antenatal appointment and just felt there was such a buzz in the centre. There were parents coming and dropping children off. Refresh was open, people were chatting at the cafe, and it is just such a lively, supportive environment where people can come and chill out and just be themselves and access this community centre.
I really enjoy my job here at the Whitbourne Centre. To me, it's a lot more than just making cups of coffee and serving cake. It's about relationship for me.
In 2020 and beyond, we are just as passionate about reaching people around us and using the resources that God has given us.
We imagine Whitbourne as a place of refuge and safety, a place of prayer and healing, and a place of joy and celebration.
This church is about bringing life to everyone.
Everyone.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Every day.